Peace, peace, family. We are in the building again for another Sunday dinner. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Peace, peace. Welcome back. Habab Sunday with the Habab Tribe.
Yes. Peace, peace. Empress Oracle Queen in the house. We about to tap
Hey,
into some Sunday dinner.
Yes, peace. Dr. Sublime here. Yes, it's about to go down.
Yes. Always a pleasure.
y'all gotta excuse me. I'm over here
Talking
having some
about
last minute meal, but like the guy resides in Mall say, we keep it real over rich.
That's
Free
right.
to God. Free to God.
That's right. Love that brother, man. Love him.
hmm So what made you come up with this topic for today, bro?
Well. This topic for today came about because of a situation that had happened, a couple situations. I was just explaining one as far as the business aspect went, but the company, they took accountability ASAP and came right, they came right with the compensation and all that good stuff. So I was excited about that. And that's really what it's all about. That's what in my opinion needs to happen is we all just need to take, more accountability for our own actions. We all just need to take, more accountability. Hold up. Apologize about that. We had a slight echo, but ultimately the story is this, and what happened was I went and I did a job. I took a job and I work with these platforms to kind of fill in the gaps because where I am, it's a rural area, so it's a little tougher to get consistent business. But I took a job and the platform was starting to mention that they were going to call the police on me and I need to return the items back and this. Then I'm like, how am I going to return the item? That guy has probably already got those things buried in the ground. So they're two giant water vats and like big. So they go in the ground and stuff, almost like a septic tank type size, right? And it was two of those and then two 100 barrel drums, right? 100-gallon drum, excuse me. And so I delivered them as it's supposed to say, but what happens is the app starts to mess up sometimes. So the app messing up, it wouldn't allow me to complete the job, even though I couldn't push the button. The button was gray. It wasn't clickable. And it kept saying that I had some tasks that I had to complete. But that was just a glitch in the app. So usually they come back like a day later, the next AM, I'll check it and they done fixed it and sent me my money. Well, at least into my profile or whatever. It only gets sent once a week per my that's my discretion, right? But it didn't happen, so I'm like, okay, let me reach out to them and the help, hit the help button. And customer service takes a little while, but they came right with the accountability because most people, most companies, corporations, they want to avoid accountability, and maybe for insurance reasons or whatever, but they actually came right with it and kept it official. So that was them taking accountability. Now on the other side, I had a situation happen this week where a person just didn't want to take accountability, and so they actually said, so here's what happened. I'm standing at the kitchen sink and I'm messing with my fish. I'm cutting up the bones, taking the bones out the fish or whatever, and cleaning the fish. And this person then entered my space and my domain. And y'all, please correct me if I'm wrong. When you hit ended, I just correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm gonna go back and I'll say I'm wrong. But so I'm tending to the fish, and then this person decides they were gonna come in, whatever. Now their child playing with my child, you know what I'm saying? They come in and they proceed to talk to everyone in the house except for me. And so I waited a good while because I didn't want to jump to no conclusions. And then, after like good 15 minutes, I said, I find it interesting. You've been here for 15 minutes and you have yet to say hello or speak to me at all. And that person replied and said, "Oh, great minds think alike." I was thinking the same thing. You were standing over there and didn't say nothing to me. I said, "But you entered my house." I wasn't raised that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was always taught, if you walk into somebody's house, you speak to everybody that's in there, whether they're a stranger, whether you're just somebody's guest, who, even if the person don't live there, you speak to everybody in that house. Right? That's just how I was raised. But this person offered an argument and a rebuttal before actually saying, "Oh, hello, how you doing? My apologies," nothing like that. It was more of a deflection. And I addressed that in a relatively peaceful manner, because it was like, I'm not going to get all bent out of shape over it, but I'm just speaking the facts. Now, y'all let me know if that was wrong for mentioning that, or saying, is it my responsibility to speak to somebody else coming in? Should I speak to them first? I mean, they were locked in a conversation with the wife, so it was like, okay, I get it. You came in talking already, so that's why I waited, But y'all let me know if I was wrong, or if y'all was raised, to not speak to anybody when you walk into their place of.
No, you wasn't wrong. You give them time to speak, and they did not. The thing is when you enter somebody's house, the accountability, the right thing to do is just greet everyone. Even if you were in a conversation walking into the house, you stop, you say, "Hold on 1 second." You greet everyone, and then you could continue with your conversation. But you don't just continue in a conversation walking inside somebody's house and not acknowledging their presence, especially if they're standing there and you could see. No, why? No, boo boo. It ain't that kind of party. You want
Yeah,
to
I would agree with that, Dr. Sublime, because if you walking in having a conversation, I think that the righteous thing to do would be to pause that conversation. Hold on for a second. Let me speak, especially if this person knew that you the owner of this place. That used to be a pet peeve of mine, when somebody would get into let's say I got a friend with me and he bring a friend, and then that person get into the car and don't speak. That used to definitely be a pet peeve, because like you say, that's always been my mentality too. You come into somebody's space, whether it's a car or home, you speak to the owner of that space. It's just, I
Right.
don't know. To me, it's just respect. It's just a common sense thing. It's just courtesy.
Yeah.
and even if the person who owns the house isn't there, you acknowledge, say, "Hey, where is Spec, or where is who and so?" And if they're not there, okay, when they come, greet them for me, please, and then you continue with your conversation. You respect the
Mm-hmm.
house, the head of the household.
Yep, absolutely.
I was raised.
But why do people struggle with accountability? I think that it just goes back to just so many people are just in a low vibrational space, because it takes a high vibrational person to say, you know what, let me take a step back, let me reflect on this, and let me take accountability for my action. That's high vibrational.
Facts.
Shout out to Jack in the chat.
Yes, Jack. Thank you for stopping in. Peace, peace.
Wow.
Mhm.
Hello. Hi, Jack. Good to have you. Good to have you with us. You know, yeah,
It,
man,
it,
accountability
it,
is accountability, and that doesn't make you a weaker person because you apologize or you address something. It doesn't make you a bad person for addressing it either. It makes you set boundaries and standards for you. No, you can because keep on if you keep on letting people disrespect you, they will keep on disrespecting you.
mhm. Yeah, I think it's the complete opposite of weakness. I think it shows strength because you gotta first of all you gotta face yourself, and then you gotta face your wrongs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's probably a big part of why people don't take accountability. They don't have the strength to do that. They don't have the strength to say, "Oh, you know what? I was wrong." You know,
Yeah.
ego
Yeah.
get in. You know,
That, that's it right there, bro. And that's why I titled it, It Costs Too Much, and when you're living in a certain state of being, accountability just costs way too much for some people,
mhm.
and we're going to get into a few of these videos that explains it really what it costs and what it actually yields when you take accountability, what the payment is, because it costs a little bit, but the payment and the reward from you taking accountability is so much more greater than the latter, and once I realized that, I started just accepting accountability, even when the other person had done me wrong or whatever. I still go and say, okay, how could I have done this differently? How could I respond differently? What could I have done differently that I may have felt better about? You know what I mean? Like, I've always started doing that because the reward is much better, and now I'm no longer in that state of mind where accountability is such a burden, or it
Taboo.
feels like shame. It shouldn't feel like shame if you're doing it right.
You know what? It's this a interesting topic we have today because I just recently found out that it's a ICE agent protest going on. Excuse me, around the corner from me, and it was kind of a surreal moment because you see these military guys dressed up in all this stuff, and they have on I mean they driving these armored trucks. You see it on TV. But to see it I mean, they was like literally right in front of me. So it was like, dang, this a real thing. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm getting at is these protests. They making some very good points because they're doing some very inhumane things. Now, I didn't even hear about this, but I heard that one of the protesters was saying that okay, y'all locking these people up, but why aren't the three agents that has been accused of raping some young children? Why are they not in handcuffs? So my point is, I wonder if these protests will start getting to their subconscious, and will they take accountability for, you know what, maybe this is not right what we doing. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mhm.
and I had a real good powerful conversation with my mom the other day, and she was telling me like, you got to stop putting the weight of the world on your shoulders. And I agree with that. I do feel like a lot of the times I wish I could do a lot more. That I was a superhero in real life, Superman in real life, and can just fly around and save everybody. But that's not the case. But what I want to ask y'all is this: how do we know what's going on and not get too involved? Because I feel like knowing what's going on and just turning the blind eye to it, you just as guilty. So how do we get involved without getting too involved? You know what I mean? What would be our
Listen, when you know that this is a matrix, this is a game, this is an illusion that we're in, that's how you detach yourself. It's not to say that the humanity side of you or the empathic side of you don't see it, don't want to address it. You
mm,
understand? But when you understand the game, how many y'all play y'all I don't play the what you call these games y'all play. You understand? And you have those what you call it them and those just persons that are in there who may be casualties of war.
mhm, mhm,
And a lot of
Mm.
times because of the empathic side of us that the nurturing side of us, the concerned, caring side of us. We don't want to just turn a blind cheek with you, what you're saying, but turning a blind cheek. We're not turning a blind cheek. We're recognizing, yes, we're acknowledging these injustices is being done, but at the same time, acknowledging to your highest self that it is not, I say it is not my circus, not my monkey. I don't want to sound insensitive because I'm not
Right.
insensitive. I am fully an empath because I can't go past somebody and not my heart don't reach out or want to help them along the way and stuff like that, which I've done and I continue to do. But at the same time, too, we got to keep ourselves to a mental or higher mind frame of these people are also a part of the game and a part of the pawns in the game also. I mean, that's my small intake on it. With your,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I thought about that earlier, and I want to get y'all perspective on it. Um,
because
so what I honestly, what I thought,
accountability is self first. You first got to be
Mhm.
accountable to your own self, to thine own self. Be true. You understand? Before you could even give an account to what's going on with somebody else. We don't know if that's a comic contract they signed, and this is how they're gonna come back, and this is what's gonna happen to them and stuff like that. Let me say it like this, right? For me, I came to peace with the fact that I had my last daughter. She got sick when she was like 3 months. And then she got sick
Mhm.
again when she was 6 months. And then she got sick again when she was 2 years old. And so when she got sick, she passed on. She joined the ancestors. At first, I didn't understand it. You understand why would a child go through so many different ailments and sickness and whatever have you? And then I came to the conclusion she fulfilled her purpose. Her purpose was to bring out I was passionate about what I used to do, but I didn't have the compassion aspect of it. So she came for
Mhm.
6 years in my life to teach me compassion. Did I want
Mhm.
to lose her? Did I want her to leave? No, I didn't. But she fulfilled her purpose within those 6 years. And if you see the lives, she never spoke a word, never walked. But if you see the kind of impact she made with just 6 years of living without even speaking a word, then you'll understand like that may help me to understand everybody come here and they have their soul contract that they come to fulfill. Whether they come and spend 99 years or they just came and spend 60 years. Or maybe sometimes they only come to let a woman know that hey, she could conceive and then afterwards she has a miscarriage because it decided okay this is only part of the experience I want. I only wanted it to come and conceive in that womb and then I want to leave. Now it leaves a scar on that woman until she
Mhm.
comes to the fullness of understanding this was to teach her something or she's to learn something. This was a part of her contract that she signed. It will always be a trauma inside of her life.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm.
J
Yeah.
Hook, yeah,
Yeah.
my perspective
Let me
on you saying,
let me say this part real quick. Let me say this part real quick, guys. The epiphany that I had earlier was if we recognize these things, I think what we could do to make a change without like really being so active in it is maybe like sit back and meditate on it and imagine because our mind's so powerful. Imagine us imagining, these people, these ICE agents having a change of heart. You know what I'm saying? And maybe we can send them messages through the cosmos and it might come down to them, in that way. You know, I think that's something that's a powerful tool because we have these type of powers, and it's just time for us to start unlocking these things and these gifts.
Yeah.
But yeah, but go ahead, Oracle. I definitely want to hear what you got to say as well.
my perspective on your question is you said something about if for us to ignore it, we're guilty as well. That's how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
But feelings aren't facts. And it's not our job to save a nation. We're our own individual nation of our own. One thing you did say that I was going to add in that's really powerful is why can't we participate with a prayer? We don't have to. It's a spiritual war going on as well as what we're seeing is the physical, but we know we're more powerful in the spiritual. So you just participating and waking up and saying a prayer for what's happening around can also help as well. But again, it's a balance on this earth. Everything can't be one way. Everything can't be all good things. So when we look and we see the high vibrational balance of it, and then we look and we see the low vibrational balance of it, we have to always know, because we're spiritual, because we're empaths, and because we have empathy, where we fit in on that balance. And every battle is not ours. Again, we learn that as we grow and as we heal in this journey, because if you get into every battle, now you're at a battle with yourself. It's no longer about nobody else, right? So on the outside looking in, yeah, we're hearing all these things are happening, and like you said, we know that we have empathy, but we have to be able to we have to be able to solve those problems without interfering and participating in the things that really don't serve us.
Exactly.
At least not serving our highest good, right? Again, I believe the power of the tongue. Our words are powerful. You know, you wake up, you just put a prayer in, you hear what's going on, no matter what it is, just send a prayer out. You don't have to go out there and march and scream and sweat, because that's also exerting energy.
Right.
Energy that you really don't have for a whole nation. Again, everybody out there, they are their own nation individually, no matter how tight they want to form in a crowd. You still have to take that home.
Yes, sister. And we don't need to be giving our energy to all these different things and topics that's going on. We need to focus on what
because we don't want to feel like us giving all our energy into everything makes it mean that we're of God or that we're doing something right. That don't make you doing something right, because you're depleting yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I drove past it, and I started to walk back over there, man, and get a part of the protest. But I'm like, like you said, I'm like, nah, I ain't about to get at my energy. There's enough people out here already. You know what I'm saying?
And
but
plus,
you could give it your energy with a prayer. You could have prayed. You could have sat there in your car and just prayed right there and just go ahead, went about your day.
Yeah. And plus, we know how everything's being manipulated. We don't know how true, how much context is behind these things that's going on. And when you start giving it your energy, you just give it more power. And we've seen where that can lead. So it's a good thing you kept going. I'm glad your spirit told you, like, nah, just keep going, man. It ain't even worth your energy. Because
that's why
people that's their lane. That's their job. You know, they made that their mission. And so all we can do is, like the Queen said, and like you said, just offer that prayer, offer that, that spiritual energy from afar.
Yeah, like he said, they'll initiate the problem and also look for you to be the solution when they have the solution as well with the problem that they initiated. But yet we're getting in and thinking that our solution is going to end the problem that they created. The same person that created the problem got the solution, and the only one that's going to end that solution. So even if we decide to participate, to be honest, they want us to participate because we make that problem more powerful.
Yeah.
Energy harnessing. That's basically what they're doing. Energy harnessing.
Yep.
Come here. Let me sap some energy from you. Let me get your anger. Let me get your anger. Let me get your emotion. Let me get your adrenaline. Let me get your adrenochrome.
And again, it's deterring you from yourself and putting all that energy in yourself, because now you worrying about 100,000 people you ain't never met, never going to see, never really. Are you really helping them? Like she said, what are they going to do that even, like, it's a lot we could say on that. I'm not even about to get into that like that. I ain't even about to get into that like that, because like we said, when we know about high vibrational and low vibrational, we know that energy only relates to what it relates to. Let's just understand that. You understand? So yeah, and if you're an open portal to be able to get sucked into that, then that says a lot about you. You know, that accountability thing, the accountability topic for me is just more so, it's learned behavior. I'm always like, I'm growing so much that I understand that I can't fault nobody from not understanding something that I look like someone that I look to be that someone else should understand. I don't fault myself for looking at people and trying to judge them because they don't want to take accountability, because they never seen it in their household. They never seen it outside of a certain source. They never seen it on TV. They always seen where they had to guard themselves, and that guard don't come with accountability.
Mm.
Yeah.
That guard that they are taught to carry do not have accountability because they never see no wrong in what they do. Right? That accountability don't have reflection with it. So yeah, it's going to cost them a lot. It's going to cost them change, and we got to understand that a lot of people are not here for that at this time and moment of their lives. So again, we know what accountability is. So we got to know when we around people that don't want to take accountability, that no, it's not about us forcing them to change, but it's about us changing our part of dealing with them, because that's where our accountability come in. Right?
Yeah.
Facts.
You know,
Yeah.
speaking on the situation that you said earlier, Spec, you know, my outlook is a little different. You know, of course. You know, it's to me, you know, again, we're still healing, we're still growing, and to me, it's no wrong or right. Yeah, we were taught a lot of things. A lot of people were taught a lot of things that don't make it right. And at the end of the day, yes, people walk into my home. That don't mean my ego's not going to tell me, oh, they going to speak first. My ego's going to greet you while you walking in. It don't matter whether I live here or not, but that's just the difference. Again, we are taught things and we are stuck on certain aspects of what things should be. But again, would it have been wrong for you to have speak first? Would that made you feel less of a person? That, hey, what's up? Even though they walking in talking? You know, so it's just it's a thousand ways to skin a cat in my eyes. And again, it's no wrong or right. You looked at it like they were wrong for not speaking, and maybe you heard what they said. Well, hey, I was waiting for you to speak first. So again, it's like, it's that totem pole. It's that balance. Like, I used to be like that, where you walk in my house, why are you in here? You ain't. But no, I'm not like that no more. Like, I want to be the greeting. I'm the sunshine when you walk in here. I ain't gotta wait. But again, everybody is different. So I don't want to say as if you're wrong, but I could just see it in a different aspect that, you know, y'all both it could have worked either way, and it wouldn't have made it less of a problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do agree with that also. It could work both ways, because, you know, you got to put yourself in a mentality of bliss. You know what I'm saying?
That part, yeah.
Like,
you know,
welcome to my home. Welcome to
yeah,
my
you know.
home.
Yeah.
But
you
again,
know,
that's not to say you're wrong. I'm just saying, like, you
No,
always
no.
always gonna see the more. I just see, like, I've grown. I used to do that, but I've grown from that, where as soon as you walk in my door, you getting agreed on, even if you ain't about to speak. You know what I'm saying? Like, but everybody's different.
See, you know, I actually thought of that too. And honestly, what made me even, because I was standing over there thinking about it, and what made me even say something is because, you know, it's been an ongoing thing since my son has been born. And I don't know what it is. I don't know where it, you know, but it's mostly just it's something to do with the energy that this state carries. You know, because every city, every state, everything has its own entity, has its own energy, right? And sometimes you're up in a place too long, and you start to absorb that energy, whether it's positive, negative, or, you know, neutral. And see, I noticed, like, it would be okay if it was just like, oh, I'm just kind of coming and talking, but it's more of like, these people are purposely doing it to show, you know, disdain or disrespect towards me, you know. So in a very peaceful way, I bring it up to to kind of let them know, like, listen, I know exactly what you are, you know. And sometimes you gotta tell the spirit or whatever it is that you know exactly what's going on. And sometimes that has a shakeup that leaves a long lasting effect. Like, I'll give you another example that this always used to happen, and now we don't deal with that anymore. And, you know, we walk by this person all the time, and they just like, you know, I'm not going to speak because I know my energy's not in the right place. And that's what I got. Because
before you speak on that though, Spec, you got to always remember your difference is your power. You not there. Your difference is going to always be your power. You standing out, like, and that's what I've been teaching kids lately. We kill ignorance with kindness, and that's really growth right there. You kill ignorance with kindness. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I get where you coming from, and again, it's to me is 1,000 ways to skin a cat. But when I know where my vibration going to go, because I'm not going to never let you get me down to your level to even think your energy is about to be absorbed over here. So my thing is, when you kill ignorance with kindness, it's always returned back to you in favor.
Well, that's just my thing, because that's exactly what I did in this other situation, you know, and that's how I approach the situations, with kindness, you know. I don't like, because before it would be, you know what I mean, me really laying into a person. I don't have to do that anymore. Like, I'll give you an example. You know, my wife's aunt would purposely see us in the store, speak to my son, speak to her, and then walk off. So, you know, I just kindly, I said, you know, I know exactly what you're doing, and I find it distasteful that you can speak to my son and speak to my wife, but you have no words for me, which is okay. But just know that I know this. And now she don't speak at all, you know. But you know, and I do that because it's like I don't want my son absorbing that type of energy. He's watching that. He's watching this lady speak to him, speak to his mother, and not speak to his dad. Okay, what's wrong with my dad? Children perceive things differently, and some may already know what's going on, and some may not. And I don't want to take that chance that he's watching that and thinking that that's okay to do, or that's okay to accept. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to remove yourself from the situation, or you got to address the situation. It all depends. And in that case, I felt it was prudent to, you know, address the situation in a kind way. But you know, that's happened not just with those people. It's been happening for quite some time, and it's really only, you know, it's really only her people, the people that she deals with. My people don't do that. You know, Sheikh never comes in this house and not speak to anybody who's here. You know, it don't matter who's here. There could be a whole bunch of people we have in the cut. He speaks to every single person. And I get that's, you know, how we were raised, and those people weren't raised like that. So I totally understand that part of it. You know, however, sometimes it's like I think that I'm in a space where I need to address the rough, raw, and real of the thing. You know what I mean? It's not my job to be that part of me that of which is not, how do I say this? It's not aligned with my personality, you know. I've dialed it down. I'm not going to be rude, but I am going to address the situation. Holding my tongue, or it just, for some reason, it doesn't work well with my personality. I got to let that person know, and I don't always have to in every situation, but situation like that, and you just constantly doing that in the store, and every time we walk by, you don't got no, yeah, don't do that, because now my son's watching that. He don't need to be seeing that, because that's, you know what I mean? And he's calling you auntie, and so, yeah, no, don't do that. So that's how I feel as far as, you know, some situations I can totally get behind that, because I've done that exactly the way you said it. Like, yep, just be the light. But I got to pick my battles.
Oh, excuse me.
A bunch.
If that makes sense. And that may have not been.
In the
Go ahead, bro.
chat.
Yes. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure y'all hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Peace to Jack Rivera. Appreciate you in the chat, brother.
Yeah, the journey for this journey is it's always a battle. So as long as we stay on it, you know, we'll cross the T's and dot our I's as we go. You know.
Yeah.
That's all I could really say about it. This is no such thing as being healed. You're always healing.
Always healing. Right?
Adding on and releasing things that do serve you and don't serve you, and everybody's different.
Yeah. And I love that term, healing instead of healed. A lot of people out here saying, I'm healed. And listen, we are in vessels that are constantly breaking down. They're constantly getting cuts and bruises, whether it be ego, emotional, mental, physical. To say you're healed is like, it's almost like saying you're perfect. And You know, that don't sit, it never set right with me. Healed, you know, healing. You know, I'm on my healing journey. I've always liked that, sister. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, the thing about this journey is when you're really present and you understand you're always in a new class, you're always graduating, you're always going to the next level. So you're always starting over. So to say you healed, then the universe will test you just to see, well, if you healed, let's see how your reaction to this may be.
Yeah.
Let's see if, and then you're going back through something because you're claiming something you truly don't really know until you go back through it. So again,
understand. Yeah.
you know, Earth is a class, it's a school. We graduating and every day, and sometimes we getting left back, and sometimes we, you know what I mean, we jump into class. So you just never know.
Yeah. Facts.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, I wanted to play 2 videos in a row real quick, because one is kind of, you know, cool, but then there's one that's just really spoke to me. This sister is just, she went in. I'm gonna play that after these 2.
Who's responsible for your success? Look in the mirror. That's your answer. Accountability isn't just about owning your wins. It's about owning your failures too. Too many people blame circumstances, others, or luck. But deep down, you know that every missed opportunity, every mistake, starts and ends with you. True growth begins when you take full responsibility. Don't wait for anyone to push you. Hold yourself accountable every single day. The moment you own your journey, that's the moment you take control of your future. So, what's the first step you'll take today? Drop a comment and share your next move. Like this video if you're ready to level up. And don't forget to save it for when you need that reminder.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it was more, you know, like success. It had a couple of things about different, you know, aspects of whatever have you, accountability. However, I definitely enjoyed the part when it was like, you know, own your failures, and even we don't really call them failures, but you know, own your lessons. You know, I think that's important too. But David Messler, man, that is my guy right there, man.
Accountability has stages, and the first stage of accountability is one of responsibility and liability. So if you tell someone, oh, you're accountable for that happened, well, I wasn't responsible for it, or I'm not liable for it, right? He hit me from behind, I'm not liable. Yes, that's one stage of accountability. The second is the one we just talked about, which is attraction. Right? What did I do, think, say, believe, or feel to attract this to myself? And what am I supposed to learn from it? But the most powerful one, which we can't necessarily tell people, and if we do, it's a very difficult conversation, is just simply, what are you doing to participate in this perception of either punishment, promotion, or protection? What are you doing to participate in it? Accountability.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Well, yeah, that kind of speaks on our conversation we was just having.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I wanted to play it first, because really it was third in line, but I wanted to play that one first because we had just was speaking on it. And you hit the nail on the head, sister. You know, sometimes we got to look at it that way. Like, what am I doing to attract that? Or, you know, definitely got to look at it differently sometimes.
That first video made me think of something I seen the other day when a guy said, you know, you can't be God and a victim at the same time.
That part.
Yeah.
That was super powerful.
That is very powerful. You have to really be present and even understand what he's saying when he said that. You got to pick a battle. You know, you got to pick a side, not a battle. You have to pick a side. You know.
Yeah.
Yep. And I can take accountability right now and openly admit to I've definitely had the victim mindset and probably still got it because I just heard this the other day. So that's something I'm gonna have to work on to make sure that I break out of it completely. And by victim mindset, I mean it's definitely been times where it's like, dang, this ain't it wasn't my fault. It didn't work out because of this or because of that. Or the government, all those things. And it's just time to really break away from that mindset. Because if I won't consider myself as one of the gods on this spiritual journey, a spiritual path, I gotta have that God mindset. I can't let those inconveniences or setbacks or whatever, deter me.
Right.
And that goes for everybody,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And in the state of you saying that, like, when we say to have that God aspect, it's just like getting out of the woe is me and understanding that when you say God and believe in the higher power and believe being a chosen one, then you know that nothing is happening to you, it's happening for you. Right, at all times. And like you said, it's always a lesson. What can I learn from this? What is this trying to show me? Instead of why is this happening? And it's what is this trying to show me about me? What can I remove? What can I make stronger in my life, in my form, so A, this may not have happened again, or B, so I can be more present to deter myself from having these feelings about what's happening. And that's why I said Earth is a school, because what I've learned is as I grow personally, I'm always getting tested in things that I think that I have myself together in. And then something will happen. And for 1 second, I may fall off, but then I'll catch myself like, hold up, wait. I see what's going on. It's a test. Oh, yeah, I remember. Hold up. That's when I get back into my God self. Like you said, hold on. I already know that. What did I do to get here? Why am I here? What is it showing me? What is it trying to teach me about me? And I start looking up things. Well, what's the spiritual meaning of this? And what's this? And what's that? And it helps calms my spirit. Where it's now that I don't have to react. I don't have to have to now get what I'm getting. I have to now go within myself and release the things that I need and add in the things I need to be at my greatest self. Because it's going to come back around again. It don't have to be with the same people, places, or things, but it's going to come back to see if you have grown, to see what you matured in, to see if you're ready again for the next class, for your next season, for the next session.
That's a fact. It definitely comes back. I've seen the same situation turn up differently so many times. Like, that's why I keep bringing up like the out on the road thing. I keep bringing that up because it keeps coming back, and it's like, and I'm like, man, I really am growing and I'm learning and I am healing because, man, the last guy, I'm telling you, I wanted to, but I was like, yeah, that's not worth it. It could only lead to a worse situation. And now I have no idea where that guy is, what happened, what's going on in his life or nothing. And I don't care about it. You know what I mean? But at the time, had I dealt with it or reacted, that could have ended up something I'm dealing with for the next 2 years, a court case or something. You know what I mean? So it's just, yeah, the situation's definitely going to come back to see if you've learned and grown from it. Facts, sister.
So that's why we must go within before we go on the outside and thinking about somebody else's accountability to us. But what about our accountability to ourselves?
Yeah.
Are you true to yourself? Are you accepting, your part of the play?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and play the sister because I know y'all gonna have some good stuff to add to this one. She went in my opinion, it was powerful, really, really powerful to me, because I think she spoke about everything we're speaking about, but she addresses why accountability costs so much to some people. So let's get into that one.
Take accountability without shame. Let's clear something up. Accountability is not punishment. It's not about dragging yourself through the mud or staying stuck in guilt. It's about owning your part so you can take your power back. But too many of us avoid accountability because we confuse it with shame. Like admitting that we messed up means we're broken or unworthy. And that's not true. You have to start talking to yourself like someone you want to see win. You have to think like a winner or talk like you're already a winner. I think sometimes when you go in with that winning mentality in trying to push yourself or force yourself to think like a winner, even if you didn't win the direct goal, it's like you fall somewhere within the winners in a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just the thing. You know, be accountable to yourself and see, what can I learn from it? Use it as a superpower.
Yes. And I felt powerful just listening to her explain that, because I was like, man, I could definitely use some more of that, and that's what I work on the most is accountability, looking in the mirror and constantly seeing where I could do things differently. That's why I accept all criticism and, any type of different ideas or ways to look at it. Like I wasn't and I know you guys know this, but it's for the people listening. I wasn't combating what the Empress was saying. I was pretty much the stance I was on and why I was choosing that route and choosing that method. That doesn't mean I'm not considering okay, how can I incorporate that into me? Because I know right now it doesn't fit my personality. It's like, hold up, wait a minute, and it's like I let it go, 3, 4, 5 times now. You know what I'm saying? And before I lose myself in the sauce, let me at least address it in a peaceful way. But I'm working on getting myself to a point where one day it will be that different way I'm looking at it and that response. You know what I mean?
You want a journey?
Yeah.
Like what you say, be gentle with yourself.
Huh?
I said, what you say, be gentle with yourself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, be gentle with yourself. You want a journey. We growing. We growing as we go. We growing and growing. But if you don't grow it from it, then you continuously be on the hamster wheel on a cycle, uh, repeating the same thing. But the good thing is when you learn from it, you grow from it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the biggest sacrifice, the greatest sacrifice you're going to make is removing things from yourself. It's a sacrifice to not say nothing. It's a sacrifice. You know what I mean? To those that are born and implemented in that, again, that shield that we have to put up, we're sacrificing ourselves each day, breaking that shield. But that's the sacrifice you have to be willing to make to get to the highest person, to get to your best self, to get to your best form of your vessel. And again, it's no wrong or right. It's no wrong or right, but it is making things right for you.
Yeah.
Making things right for you.
Yep. Being the highest version of yourself in every situation. Or just actually not even just being the highest version of yourself, being true to your own self.
Yeah. Authentic.
Yeah.
Authentically. Because I was telling my sister had messaged me because I had taken a picture and she saw where how far I am on my health journey. I won't say weight loss journey, it's a health journey. And I tell her I just make the necessary adjustments. I say I haven't cut out a lot of things, but I cut out some major things and I recycle my food. You understand? If I feel like I go a whole month, I'll go without even eating a piece of meat. But that doesn't mean I'm a vegetarian. I just cut it into that month. You understand? If I feel like now going back and having a piece, then I can have myself a piece. But the major thing I cut out completely is the sodas and the sweet drinks. You
Yeah.
know, they were the major pound pushes for me. So I feel like it's not a quick fix. It's a journey. I am on my health journey because I want to
Yeah,
live for long.
facts.
And so that comes back with being accountable to myself. I am not even, and I tell I even, I'm not doing it for anybody. I'm not doing it for no likes and no praise. I'm doing it for myself. I've been holding myself accountable. I see
Mm,
nobody else holding me accountable. Oh, you say you want to diet. Oh, you say you want to. No, I gotta hold my own self accountable. So
That
the price of my, we say accountability, the price is my health.
mm,
yeah.
I know how many, I have a cousin, me and her the same age. And she just tell me last week she had a Passover stroke. Then I have another friend 2 weeks ago, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, she just like maybe 2 years older than myself. She had a stroke. I said, what? And these people have been telling them, listen, you gotta check for your health.
yeah,
So you gotta be accountable to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, the price of my accountability is for my health.
right. And the earth and your body is gonna tell you. You know, your body knows, man.
Oh
And
yeah.
we put so much accountability into these and faith into these doctors and other people. It's like your body is gonna know what's best. Like,
Yeah.
and you
Listen
can
to it.
go, yeah, you can go and get blood tests done or blood work or whatever that that can tell you what you're. I haven't done mine yet, but it can tell you what foods agree with you better, and then you can go and actually test that out and see if that what I mean, because you might find that it actually works, but your body's gonna tell you, man, like what you're doing. When you put that honey bun or that donut up to you, and your body's telling you. Because every time I would eat ice cream or I ate, you know, sweets or whatever, my body was like, bro, you ain't never been a sweet guy. What is you doing? Put this stuff down. I've never, and it's true. I never, even when I was a kid, I didn't really dig on sweets like that. I wanted food, like real food. You know what I'm saying? Give me some fried vegetable rice or something like that, and I was golden. But down the line, and especially being in that box, man, you just think about everything you wanted because they feed you so horribly in there. You just like, man, I'm eating this, I'm eating that. And so when you get out, you like a dog that's been caged up for the last 6 months or a
Mm-hmm.
year, or whatever. You just can't calm down. You just running around. So, and that's what I was doing with food. And so I ate myself into 350 pounds. You know what I mean? And man, when my body was like, no, we not gonna be able to put our foot on the chair and put our socks on like you normally do. And when I realized I couldn't even put my sock on and put my foot on the chair like I normally do, and I couldn't put my socks on. Like, nah, hold up, gang. That was it for me. It was that's all it takes sometimes. It's just that catalyst. It's like I changed my diet, but I didn't go by anybody else's diet or anything like that. I said to myself, they putting stuff in the food that makes it addictive. I need to just cut it out completely. I'm not one that subjects myself to addiction. If I'm addicted to something, I just stop it, just like that. If I feel that or I see that it's causing me, I just stop it, just like that. And I've always been that way. So yeah, we have to take accountability. That's the main thing. A lot of people are on these diets and, oh, it's not working. No, the diet works. That diet may not work for you, but you could figure out something, but you're not going to because you're not taking accountability. And you got society and media teaching you that it's okay to be, the fattest country in the world. We have the absolute fattest people on the planet in this
Watch
country.
it. Take away that word diet and put inside there lifestyle adjustment.
Yeah,
Accountable to for my lifestyle. Accountable for what I put inside my mouth. Because we
yeah,
could blame them again. We could keep on blaming everybody else and what they doing and not take accountability to ourselves and what we put inside our mouth ourselves. They ain't forcing it down on us, but yes, they put it in the commercials. Yes, they're putting it out there. but it's still a choice you have to consciously make, you know?
Exactly. Even though they know it plays on your mind because it's part of mind control. That's why they're throwing it in your face. That's why they're making the commercials. That's why they're telling you, come get this burger for $1.99. They know it's mind control, but like she said, it's up to your free will to go ahead and now make that action, make it happen, make it now a thing. Right?
Yeah.
I like how Dr. Sublime, you said, I like that you're present because you got all those phone calls about what was happening around you. And for me, that was a pre-warning. Like you said, for me, you know what, let me get myself right before now that energy affects me. Right?
Yes.
So when you present, you just don't take calls and you just listening to converse. You listening to see, well, dang, somebody said this. Somebody said that. You know what? Maybe that shouldn't. Let me get on me then, because I don't want that reaction to be my reaction. I don't want to be the next one making that phone call. You know what I'm saying? So I like that. I like that because a lot of people are not present to understand when they, sir, I done got 8 calls this week and so they saying this. Yeah, maybe that's trying to tell you something. It's trying to say to be mindful of something.
Yeah,
so what it did, all of those phone calls made me so happy to know that I started making the adjustments before it was me making the phone calls to them, but it was them making the phone calls.
Exactly. Exactly. Fitting into that vibration. Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah. So that's now the perfect example of taking accountability too.
Yes.
Yeah. Listen, I tried. Let me tell you, where I live, right? I have stairs. So imagine you climbing stairs and you can't make it all the way up your stairway. I said, this ain't making no sense, buddy. No sense at all. I can't climb up the what? No. Let's do something like this.
Yeah, we gotta start turning that word old to bold. Oh no, baby, I ain't old. I'm bold. I'm doing everything I've been doing. What you doing?
I concur with you, sister. Because them stairs, I used to live on the 3rd floor, and when I was 350, I would get up there and be like, man, I used to run upstairs, and I'd take. You know how most men you see they skip a step, they doing 2 steps at a time. I used to do that. That was the way I walked up the stairs. I couldn't just take a step by step. I had to skip a step, and, and I'm tall. I got long legs, so I'm naturally, that was easier for me. And man, when I couldn't do that, and I was like breaking halfway through, and I wasn't even carrying nothing, I said, oh no. So I got to get back to where, because this is not my ideal weight. 350 is not what I'm supposed to be.
You can be another person.
Yeah.
I was talking to my brother about that. I'm like, bro, you know that's not your weight size, right? He talking about, no, but I like how it look. I said, but you know that's not your weight size. That's not how you have to look. Like, you know that, right? Like, you putting more weight on your legs and on your body, and that's not our initial weight size. Like, we don't, our family size ain't that. You might like the look. You might like the look, but that ain't the look for you.
That's something I noticed too.
Huh?
I was just gonna say that's something I've noticed too. A lot of guys, like he said, exactly like he's saying, they'll have that weight, they'll look, like they super muscular, but then when they take the shirt off, it's not a lot of cuts, it's not a lot of not vascular, you know what I'm saying? So it really look good with the shirt on, you know what I'm saying?
But it's also a mind thing. I feel like they say that to us. Oh, I like the look, but like you said, they take that shirt off. They don't like the look no more. You know what I'm saying? They like how it look with clothes on, but when they take it off, they calling themselves something.
And here's the thing: they need to talk to the bigger guys and some of the famous biggest guys. I'm a mention like Andre the Giant, Shaq. You talk to them and they'll tell you, man, being big is tough. You know what I mean? Those people are naturally 7 feet tall, and it's a lot of weight on their ankles, it's a lot of weight on their feet, it's a lot on their knees, it's a lot on their heart. Andre the Giant died from a heart condition, and it's like he always said, if he was a little smaller, he might have less complications, which is true. But he was born naturally big. You know what I mean? Does that mean he was overweight slightly, but not by much? And you know what I mean? He would have rather be a little bit smaller. He believes he would still be here.
Well, that's why I said it's a mind thing, because everybody I know that like are usually up in weight, and I know that's not their normal weight. They'll say they like how it look, but while they're doing things, oh, I'm tired, and oh, I can't do this, and
Yeah,
oh my goodness, I tried to walk 3 blocks, I had to turn around, but you said you like how it look on you. You gotta
right,
make, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you mean?
right. Make it
You
make
don't,
sense.
you can't like how it look because you don't like how it feel.
Right.
Yeah.
Facts. Yeah. I didn't like the way it looked. I didn't like the way it felt. I didn't like my health. You know, I think I told you all this before. I was sleeping in the middle of the day. I was taking several naps a day. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just for no reason, just sleeping. Sleep. And oh man, now I only sleep 4 hours a day. I think I got 4.5 last night. Today, I should say. But you know what I'm saying? It's like I feel better in this space because I'm able to do things. I'm able to get more things done. Like I wouldn't have been able to at 350. Whew. Man, it wasn't no, you know what I'm saying? Like I'd probably only be able to do this here on Sunday if you know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, I might have not even been shown up a couple times. Like I'll be in there asleep and be done forgot about it. And it's 4 p.m. by the time I woke up. Oh man, I missed another. You know what I'm saying? This thing it's like I'm proud of where I am today. And I'm only gonna keep taking accountability and getting better because the change is necessary sometimes.
Yeah. You know, one of the biggest things with accountability though too is being honest with yourself.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we always talk about reflection and deflection, but we also got to talk about really being honest with what's happening, what you're going through, what you're putting yourself through, what's being done, you know, what your reactions are. A lot of people, they say, you know, oh no, you know, we do accountability, but are you? Because if you can't be honest about a situation or a person, place, a thing, that's not accountability. If you're making up situations or making up problems or making up things, you're not being accountable, nor are you being authentic. And you can't be accountable without being authentic. And to be accountable, you have to be honest with everything that's happening for the reason that you have to be accountable for a certain situation.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't like being truthful because being truthful hurts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they rather point out the window.
Yeah, being truthful breaks their reality that they created.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I think that's another thing that's really big on accountability, why people don't want to take it, because they don't like being honest. They don't like being honest. A lot of people live off of lies. A lot of people live off of a veil that they create and makes them always look like the victim, or always make them look like they're a good person, or always make them look like they can't do it in everybody's eyes.
Wow.
You just reminded me of something. I seen a comment the other day. I'm gonna try to find it real quick, but I think he said it's easier to, he said it's easier to fool somebody than it is to convince them that they're being fooled.
That's true.
Like,
yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. And I understand that wholeheartedly. And then you know why? Like that's so dope. Because it makes sense because like you said, it's easier to fool somebody than convince them that they're being fooled, because you know why? They already created an illusion with themselves where they lying to themselves. So they don't want to have to go back and tell themselves that they were wrong. So they'll rather believe a lie than believe the truth, because they already created a lie within themselves. You know, that illusion we create for people when we meet them. That what's that word when they say we give you the benefit of the doubt, or we see something that you don't see in yourself? That's us creating an illusion.
Yeah.
Accepting things for what is.
Absolutely.
That potential word, that grinds my gears. I don't like that word no more. That seeing potential. That's a fool's move. That's a fool's move. When you give things potential, you're creating an illusion. That's you fooling yourself before they can even fool you. That potential gonna hurt you every time.
Dang. Come and preach, sister. What? You create an illusion for that person before you fooled yourself about them before they could even fool you. I love that.
That potential, you fooling yourself every time.
Yeah,
Oh,
we've all done it.
you know what? But you created that.
Yeah,
How you seeing past what you actually getting? You fooling
Right.
yourself.
facts. Yeah,
Mhm.
dang.
You clocking into a job every day knowing you ain't getting paid right. Well, I know they're gonna pay me one day. You're fooling yourself. What are you talking about?
Right. Pay those bills and you be actively looking for another job. That's man.
Yeah, that
That's
potential
what
hurt breaks us all down, and we've all been there. We all been there, and
Yeah,
that's
we all
something I
done
want to work on when I come to facing the reality of my reality of what I'm living in. It's no such thing as potential.
Mm.
When you really start to align with the Most High, ain't no potential. You get what you're getting, and you're seeing it for what it is, and it's up to you to decide what you're going to deal with and what it's going to be for you. All that potential shit, that's out the window.
Mm. Facts.
Because that potential
So-
going to
so let
bury
me
you,
ask
and it
you
puts you into that woe is me situation. It puts you into the victim mindset. If you let potential cloud your vision, it puts you into a victim mindset every time. Now you're the victim, but you the one that created that potential. How
Yeah.
you the
Wow.
So let me ask you this:
Come
you
on.
don't feel? What's your thoughts on you being the tool or the vessel to make a change in a certain situation or somebody's life or whatever the
I
potential
believe-
may be?
Mhm. Go ahead.
What if you are that tool to make that potential come to life?
And I
You
like
know
that.
what I mean?
I like that because we are assignments in people's lives. God has orchestrated us to come into people's lives, right? To be an assignment to shape them or maybe break something up off of them, right? But how long are you going to stay there, and how long are you going to be an assignment to something that you see is not willing to take the class?
Well, of course, yeah. That's
Right?
when discernment.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like when your assignment is something, you know your assignment, and you again. I've learned that I am an assignment in people's lives. I learned that because I kept asking God why, but God said I sent you there for a reason, right?
Mhm.
But when He tell you to move, baby, and He say leave, now you gotta move or leave.
Mhm.
Because that's where that potential come in now. Now God telling you to move, but you saying, well, that potential God said, your time is done. The class is over. The class is over.
Facts.
But now that potential, because you didn't put that time in and you forgot that you was only there for assignment, is now keeping you stuck.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I realized too, the universe will not give you what you're supposed to get if you got certain things or certain situations or certain people around you that's not supposed to get that.
Listen, what they
Not
say, God don't
aligned
bless.
with what-
They say, and God don't bless no mess.
Right.
That's real shit. God ain't blessing no mess. And let me tell you something, like you said, Spec, you learn that because God will show you in a mess every time, and you keep talking about that potential. You keep blocking out it. Every time
Yeah.
God send you to get out. He's showing you stuff. He giving you stuff. He letting you know this ain't working. He letting you know you blocking your blessing. Now you blocking your blessings because you won't follow the divine alignment. Because you now got to get out that assignment. So yeah,
Now you're trying to force something to happen that isn't supposed to be happening.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now that accountability got to come in.
Like a child in the store throwing a tantrum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I want this, and this was for me, and I know it's for me. No, God done showed you. No, it ain't.
Yeah.
No, it ain't. I'm gonna show you why it's not for you. Boom, this happened. I'm gonna show you why it's not for you. Boom, now that happened.
Yeah. Facts.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because if it's for you, it ain't gonna be against you.
And that part is not gonna deplete you. It's not gonna make you feel less than. You ain't gotta fight for it. You ain't gotta argue. You ain't gotta feel less than who you are. It's supposed to build you like you came to build somebody else.
Yeah.
Right, Hooks? When we coming into people to shake them and be something different in their environment, they're not supposed to take from our environment. We're supposed to add on to each other. So when it's draining you and now it's depleting you, oh no, baby. Oh no. Oh no.
Facts.
Let go.
Got to go.
Not serving
Yeah, I
the
think that's
highest
what
credit.
happened with
That's
me.
what you have to do.
That's what happened with me just recently in the trucking industry.
Yeah.
Long story short, just went through a bunch of stuff that kept me from continuing on what I was getting ready to do. And I just
Mhm.
looking back at it now, it was a blessing
It
because I ain't really
was.
want, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't really want to take that path anyway. I was just
Mm-hmm.
doing it to try to make some extra money, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mhm.
universe set me right on down. So that's the only way to look at it. That's the only way I'm gonna look at it.
It is.
Otherwise, I get upset and oh, why didn't this work out? And it worked out for other people, and nah, I ain't forget all that.
It worked out because that was their journey. That's not your journey. You got on an
Exactly.
assignment, you learned something from it. You're going to take something for it for your next season and your next journey. For all you
Right.
know, that was stopping you from an accident. You got out of there before a truck could blow up. Anything. You know what I'm saying? You got to look at, you
Yeah.
got to understand that you know who you are. You know your heart is pure. You know you do good by people. So you know that everything is only going to work out good for you. So when something's not working out for you, then that means it's not good for you.
Yeah.
Right? You ain't take no loss. That's one thing I tell myself. I haven't took a loss yet. We don't take losses.
Facts. It feels like that sometimes because, I'll tell y'all a quick story about my first car. I worked hard for this car. I just got out the feds, and I was grinding, got my credit right, everything, and I always heard about people just, sign and drive, you know what I mean? And I'm like, man, I want to do that. I want to just sign and drive. So I built myself up to a status where I can sign and drive and just drive off a lot, with something. And so I did that. But that collision, like maybe a month later, it stopped me from being able to go to work for Timmy, which I love Timmy. Don't get me wrong. I love, you know what I'm saying? I loved working there, but I knew I wasn't supposed to be there for a long period of time. And what I realized was it saved me from destroying something else that I was building, and I was building my sustainable income so that I can work on myself and I can work on other projects and stuff, and that would keep the bills paid. But that was about to be destroyed and ruined because of the job I had. And so that collision, even though I missed that car, I still love that car, and I'm gonna definitely get me another one, but I realized had that collision not happened, I would have ruined that and I would have never gotten it back. See what I'm saying? So that saved me from, and I couldn't see around this corner. Obviously, I was heading up, I was heading down Washington. I'm heading up to up to Portland. I'm, you know what I mean? I'm on the road and I'm doing everything right. And for some reason, the car just turned sideways and started sliding down the hill. It was sleeting that day and a little bit slushy, and I'm just like, I didn't even do anything. The car just turned on its own, and here come the I think it was a garbage truck. It was coming right at the passenger side, and my spirit was just like, just hit the gas. So I hit the gas, and it skidded a little bit because it's slushing and sleet outside, and it pushed me off the road, and then I hit the snowbank and tore the whole driver's side up or whatever, and it did a 180 and then went and faced the road because at first it was facing the woods, and then when I hit, I smacked, and it flipped around and started facing the road. It landed facing the road, and I'm like, I was so upset that people they thought I was like really hurt. People they came to the car, they opened the door. You okay? And I was just sitting there like, I just got this car. I didn't care if I was okay or none of that, right? And then retrospect, when everything started to come into alignment, I started looking into everything, and then I got the message that I would have never got because I would have been working at the time, and I got that call. I was like, oh my goodness, I would have messed up. I would have messed up my whole thing that I had going for myself because of the job and the time I was putting into my work, because I was working like 3 jobs. But Yeah, it's a good thing for that collision, man, and I'll never regret that. That was such a blessing to get in that collision, and I wasn't hurt. There was no other cars involved, no other, and you know what I mean? Like everything, it just worked out, y'all. So we got to look at it that way. And a lot of people out there I know will look at that and be like, man, no, that sucks. No, it didn't. It was a great thing that it happened.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Always, the universe is always working for us.
Yeah. And never against us. You know, it's always for us. And we just gotta be present. 'Cause a lot of times we're not present. And, you know, I wasn't deep in the rabbit. I wasn't even in the rabbit hole at that time. I was just, you know, I'm still always, you know, better in myself, but I wasn't deep in the rabbit hole, and I still figured that out. Like, wow, had that not happened, that setup I was setting up would have came crashing down. I'm like, man, what a blessing. But at first I'm looking at it like it was such a horrible thing. You know, just crashed my brand new vehicle I worked hard to get. You know, I got another one right after, but you know, she was all right, but she wasn't Lucille. You know what I mean? I missed Lucille, but when I started doing the math and looking into everything, yeah, it was right on time too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Trust the process and trust the timing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And just it's all about understanding, overstanding, and understanding yourself. Let me put it like that first. Understanding self, because so you know we've been trained. All of our training for the majority of our life has always been to pay attention to exterior. Expect somebody else to come and save you. Never training or equipping you to save yourself. Never training and equipping you to become the best that you could be internally. Only externally, how you look, how you sound, how you smell, all of the external stuff, but nothing about the internal stuff. And so now with this awakening and this higher level, like this by vibrating high and all these different things, you're now learning so much to look at everything through a higher perspective with a clearer lens, and seeing what is the lesson in it, what I can learn, what I can take away from this, what I need to let go. You understand? Because a lot of times it comes to that, what I need to let go. And we say we need to let go the ego, but we also need the ego to help to propel us, so that we just need to balance. That's it there. Need to balance the ego.
Mm,
That's true.
right. Mm-hmm.
That's the word. The ego works for us when it's balanced, and works
Yeah.
against us when it's unbalanced.
Yes. Yeah. That's why I love my little term ego treats. You know, you give it little treats to keep it at bay so it don't get out of control.
Because it could definitely push you to, you know, want to reach greater heights in whatever you're doing. You know.
Yeah, it can make you or break you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The ego is why prison exists. If you
Yes.
don't know how to manage it and balance it, if you don't get control in it.
Yes.
Somebody will do it for you.
Oh
Somebody
my
will do it. They'll tell you what time to get
goodness.
up, what time to get out, what time to eat, what time to drink, what time. You understand? If you don't control it, somebody else will do it for you.
And I think that's the biggest thing about not being present, is not understanding that we allowed society to program our ego. We didn't get to program it. We allowed society to program it.
Yes.
So now when you back all that up and now release and remove everything that was programmed in, and you get to program it, that John is beautiful. It's
Yeah.
beautiful when you get to take the programming for your ego and get to balance it out and make it work for your favor.
Yes. And then you mentioned the prisons are created for your ego. Man, when you get in there, the egos That's it. Oh my God, the different egos you are around, including your own. Whew, that's why so much stuff happened in there. So much because I just, and they tell, oh, never let another prisoner see you cry. Don't never let him call you a B. Don't never let him this, that, and the third. And man, my ego was parked. And that taught me a lot on how to park my ego, because I knew what I was capable of. But I also didn't know what some of these other gentlemen were capable of either. And it was like, why is it worth it to go down that road? So when I learned to park my ego, and it was like that, this brother I knew from outside, I think I told y'all this before, he asked me, why are you like this, man? You was an animal in the streets and this, that, and the third. And it was like, I didn't tell him this. I was just like, I didn't want to be that anymore. I just explained to him the truth. It was like, I'm not getting myself more time. I haven't even been sentenced yet, and I'm going to get more time. I watched this dude get more time because of his ego. And they're biting the COs, and he's fighting and biting people, and the judge was going to give him a lower end and gave him the higher end, as much as he could give him because of his behavior in the county. I said, man, I'm cool. I don't want that, man. I want to get done with this. I want to get on my life, because these people already got a certain amount of time in my life. They're not getting another second, not 1 second more. Between probation and prison, they got 7 years out of me. They not getting no more, gang. It's not happening. Nah. All because I couldn't park my ego. So, yeah.
See, I seen this acronym where they said ego means etching God out.
Ooh.
And that's, to me, that was really powerful. That was really powerful. So again, it's like when you let God take control of the ego, that's a whole different atmosphere for you.
Wow. Etching God out, sister.
Oh, so hold on. Say that again. When you use your ego,
Like you basically when you let how they be like, you got the devil and you got the angel on one shoulder. So think about it. The devil side would be the ego, but if you put God on both sides of the shoulder, you get what I'm saying?
Okay,
That's
okay.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If you put that angel on both sides of the shoulder, that's a different experience for you. Instead of calling it the devil, the devil side. No, it's no devil side. God on both sides of my fence.
wow.
So
Okay. Now that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's interesting. And let me say why, because I forget this brother's name, but he's one of those well-educated guys that's in this field that we in. And I remember him saying, even if you too good, that's you still unbalanced, because we meant to have both polarities.
Well, so that's the thing. Like you saying too good, right? But when people read this religion stuff, God, Jesus, his child was. Remember what he did when he walked through the churches, and how he threw things around and knocked the tables down. It's not what you do, it's how you do it, right? And it's like you said, it's not no such thing as too good, and it's not no such thing as not performing when you're in a battle either, especially when it's life or death. But
Right.
you got to think about it. When it's the ego involved, it's always death. You're not never seeing the godly or the angelic side of it, where it doesn't have to be that detrimental. Yes, like you said, you might have to stand up, you might have to speak something, but you can still do it in a way that's of God. It doesn't have to be a way you snapping somebody's neck, breaking somebody's nose, blacking their eyes, and unless again it's life or death. But other than that, nobody word should make you want to do all those things. That's etching God out. Again, you could defend yourself without having to hurt yourself in the process.
Yeah, true.
Wow.
Yeah.
Especially when we know how energy transfer. We talking about energy transfer, like you said, there's no such thing as being too good. No, it's not. But if you know that whatever energy you put out is going to return to you, don't you want to be more present in what energy you putting out, no matter what the hell the situation is?
Yeah.
Because it's going to come back to its creator. So again, and we also know that we have people walking in vessels and we have entity attachments attaching themselves to vessels just to get you in the karmic loop or get you in an energetic field that you're going to get some negative energy return to you. Don't you always have to kind of be still walking with God in a way?
Facts.
Yep.
So again, I don't know that the good and bad aspect of it too. I don't really, that's not a concept I follow. It's just, you know, right knowledge. Always trying to use right knowledge in every situation.
Yep. Yeah, and I'm convinced some of the people that we dealing with during these times is not even that they really don't have souls. You know, I'm convinced that it's some people that's just like for example these ICE agents that can, you know, do some of the stuff that they doing to these children. And I was watching the lady. She said on a little interview, one of the ICE agents stood right there and was like, "F these kids." So I mean, like stuff like that.
So can I say something about that though? We know that they've been creating people in the labs. How we know they not lab babies? You gonna say that this lab stuff not new? They just telling us about it. That don't mean it ain't been going on.
Right.
Oh, you mean the baby? That's
I'm just saying, like they've been doing this creation where they've been creating vessels without souls for years. So when you say that, you are accurate. They don't have souls. So trying to again transform your energy into another person that can never even get the connection of your energy, it just don't make sense. It's just depleting to you. Right? And another thing I noticed too in the spiritual aspect too. Everybody that's saying they spiritual ain't got souls either, honey. I know a lot of people in the spiritual realm that's talking all this chosen one that ain't aligned at all. They talk a good game, but baby, behind them doors, no. You believe half of what you hear, half of what you see, and I'm telling you, it's not all it's cracked up to be. So just because you claiming chosen and they saying chosen, that you gotta watch people character. And when I be dealing around people talking about all this, oh, you know, you gotta be bad, and that don't align with my God. So I don't know. When I hear people always talking this low vibrational talk, oh, you gotta be low vibrational. Something? Do you? Right. No, seriously, like, do you? Again, when it's life or death, that's not you being live vibration. That's you defending yourself and making sure you keep yourself here. But anything else, do you really? Like, that don't. I don't know. When I hear that rubs me a different way. And again, I've been there. I've been hurt. So when I tell you that don't sit right with my spirit, and I get around certain spiritual people that talk like that, I'm letting you know my God be telling me, it ain't all it's cracked up to be. Right. And nobody should deter you from what you think is right, even though they telling you it ain't right for them. Well, it's right for me to act like this, for me being good and for me doing good and expressing myself in a way that you don't think is, oh, well, no, sometimes you need to. No, I don't. Maybe you do. I don't.
Right. That's hogwash anyway. You don't have to lower your vibration to come down the stairs or go down the stairs to grab somebody's hand to pull them up.
And it's not judging. It's not judging. It's just, again, it might work for you, but it don't work for me. And if it don't try to pressure me to do something that works for you. No.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So as I was saying, with these experimental babies, think about what you call IVF and all them different things. You ain't sure what they inserting inside of you, what they giving you, whether it's something they create, because it is created in the lab, and then they insert it inside of these women, and these women become carriers of babies that they think it's their own.
Yeah. You don't turn around a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. You don't know. No, so like you said, because we trusting now in this health industry as well, as we already know we can't trust in them. We already know that they're not for us, that they're against us. So now you letting them tell you, oh, come here and we'll give you what you want, but you don't know what you want is coming with. Just like when we take them pills in the medical field and they prescribing you something, they not telling you them 30,000 side effects that's going to affect you outside of them just healing one thing. But now you got issues of other things because you popped that one pill.
Yeah.
But when you look at it on a commercial, the commercial tell you runny nose, snotty nose, heart attack, blood pressure. That's what every medicine's got.
Yeah. Facts.
So think about what they
Facts.
doing to a baby they putting inside of you, being able to put whatever germs and germinate whatever they want, and you being a carrier. You don't know.
Yep.
And a lot of people not investigating either. They just, oh, what the doctor said.
Yeah, it's always what the doctor said. Well, the doctor told me.
Yeah.
What the doctor told me.
What did you
it's
look
like,
up? Did you look up the side effects? Did you look up what everybody else is saying about it? How it hurt them? How it may have helped them? How it may, you know what I'm saying? I look up all that. You're not just about to bring me something talking about what you said.
Right.
Give me
And
some
all
time
the-
to look up something. I'll be back.
And all them things got some of the worst side effects.
Yeah.
And the side effects be worse than the stuff that they curing.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, could lead to seizures. Do not drive a car, operate machinery. I was like, damn.
And they like, well, nothing never happened yet.
But
Yeah.
you gotta be kidding me, man. Yeah.
You see, everybody was upset when Trump said what he said about the Tylenol. I'm like,
Yeah.
they've been telling y'all not to take Tylenol. How y'all mad?
Yeah.
They've been telling us to get off of Tylenol years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody.
What do you say?
So
Because I
mad.
heard like
Telling them to stop taking it and stuff. Like how basically it causes some type of listen, you know, I don't really look into that stuff. I just see everybody angry about it and they like, oh, now
it
Trump's
causes ADHD or
yeah,
something like
it's with
that,
the
right?
mind and the liver. You know, they was always saying it affects our liver already though. So
Yeah.
it's like, why would you take it?
He's against the vaccinations too, the massive vaccination that's going on.
And look how many people mad about that.
Yeah, they was mad about that. He said that in his first term. Like, listen, I wish they'd at least spread it out a little bit. Like, this is crazy. I was like, man, that's why they really didn't like this man.
But the thing is, before people get angry about all this vaccination stuff, how many people you think before they even let their kids or themselves get stuck up, they go and look at the side effects of that vaccination?
They don't. They just want that quick and easy fix. Everybody's got a microwave mentality. Oh, if I get a flu shot, I ain't got to worry about the flu. Hey, I ain't had no flu shot in years, and I ain't had no flu either.
But they tell you the flu shot is the flu. You're putting it in your body,
Yeah,
allowing it to
pretty
fight it
much,
off
right.
before you actually get it. But I'm giving it to myself. That's like you
Right.
saying this snake is poisoning, but I'm gonna let it bite me so I can already have the poison in me. So if it bite me again, I can already survive. What are we talking about?
Right,
That's what the flu shot is.
right.
You're putting it in you so you can go through it before it get to you. What if it never come? What are you talking about? Now
Yeah.
I'm just a test dummy. We like rats in a cage.
Yeah,
And people
Fact.
get upset when you don't want to be a rat in the cage. We're not the same.
yeah. Because you look different to them. You're a black sheep. You're an outcast. So
Yeah,
you
and
get
I'd rather be all
ostracized.
that. I didn't come here to be the same. I didn't come
Right.
here. We wasn't born the same. I didn't come here to be like you.
Facts.
I didn't come here to follow the rules and regulations you deciding to follow. We not the same. And if something happened to me, why you care? Let me worry about it.
Right, right. It's my life. It's my, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
my consequence or
Like I said.
reward.
How is America the land of the free, but you trying to entrap me with your ways and your thoughts? I ain't free if I'm following you. I want to be free. The fuck?
Bingo.
That part right there.
I can't be free and follow your rules and regulations. That don't make me free.
Yep.
Yeah, they got us. They got all of us so indoctrinated that we think that that we're doing a good thing. Oh, I'm gonna go get this flu shot, and it's like the cure or the way to walk through the flu. And you can be in a room full of sick people and not get sick at all. I've done this just by doing a little bit of research. I'm like, and everybody in there got the flu. Everybody in there sick. And man, you didn't get sick from being at that event last week? No, I did not.
Because your immune system's strong.
Yeah, it's
Man, you
because
ask me to put stuff in my body that weakens my immune system. How do that
Right.
sound?
right, and I started building it up. I'm like, hold on, let me build up my immune system because this one guy, one of the guys, I forget his name now, it was so many years ago, but one of the guys who mentioned, he said, you will actually get the sickness or whatever, but you won't have any symptoms because your body naturally is fighting it off and fought it off. So you had the flu, you didn't get the snip, you didn't get no headache, you don't notice it, you carry on about your day because your body's doing what it's supposed to do. I said, oh man, that makes so much sense.
The thing about it, all these things are man-made. Anytime
Yeah.
man can tell you what's coming, that's only because they released it. And the only way that we all can get affected by it is because it's sprayed in the air and we're all breathing it. So it's either coming through our air or our water. That's the only way we all can get the instance of you telling us all that we all at the same time got to go do something because you let something out that you know may affect somebody differently than the next.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
You have to be present to understand what's going on. Man, you think the flu went and knocked on the door and said to man, we coming, go let them know. Like, what? Like, what are we talking about?
Right.
They come up with all this stuff they create, and these are on the way. It's on the way because you know, because you created it.
Right.
You ain't God got it. If God warned you, he would have warned us.
Facts. And it's amazing how these companies skyrocket in stock prices and all that good stuff and get rich right before the thing hits.
Yeah.
That amazes me how people they see that and it could be right in their face. You can show them the evidence and they still say, yeah, well, you know, I'm still going to go get the jab.
But like you said, some ain't got minds and souls. And those are the ones we fighting with. And that's the ones we fighting with. The ones without the minds, without the souls that they created in the lab. And we think that they human. And they got us following them when they came here to be followers. We didn't come here to be followers. That's the balance too.
Yep. And to add to y'all point, you know, that's why I don't understand. I don't understand how Bill Gates is not in somebody court or behind somebody jail system right now, because how can you get on TV and say, oh, there's going to be another pandemic? How do you know that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
but y'all up here talking about Trump ain't no doctor. Bill Gates ain't no doctor either.
Right.
Exactly.
But he patented everything he told you was coming. He making millions off of everything he let you know was about to be released because his name is on it. He done patented it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what he waiting for is you to be the test dummy to go ahead and take it so he can get paid.
Yeah.
Yep.
And a lot of people have been so fear-mongered that, you know, they wholeheartedly believe in the jab. They believe in that jab. Like, yeah, I had to go get it because I don't want to get sick. What? I'd never had it. And you know what I'm saying? Like, and we know a lot of these places were calling it that, even though you go in there with a splinter or something or a cut finger and they're gonna call it that. You know what I'm saying? That X19, like, that wasn't even what it was.
You know what's crazy? They stopped taking people blood that got vaccinated. Like, you know how they do the blood drives? They won't take your blood if you got vaccinated. A couple places won't take your blood if you got that vaccination.
Yeah.
So that should tell you right there. They just made you a foreign object.
Says it all.
Exactly. That says it all right there. They looking for people that wasn't vaccinated, but they telling them they crazy. I don't think we should be letting people know what we got or not, because we a hot commodity. I don't talk about that.
Yeah. Facts. And that's the whole thing about, you know, accountability. We need to take accountability for ourselves, our own life, you know what I mean, and our changes in our health, and we need to stop leaving it up to an outside source to tell us what's right for us. That's
exactly. Take accountability about standing on business about you, not letting people force you against your will to do something you know don't sit right with your spirit.
Right.
10 people got it. Well, everybody else got it. They look good. Yeah, today. You don't know the outcome later. Like, and if your spirit is telling you no, then stick to that. Stick to that. All that, I was going to lose my job. Or maybe that was your out. Maybe God was trying to give you an out for something. You ain't, like, come on.
Yeah.
I was ready to go when they said, oh, nobody don't get it. Y'all got 2 weeks. I said, I guess 2 weeks is it.
For real.
What you talking about?
I'm gonna live life today in the next 2 weeks like I've been living. The only
job we've been working, we've been job hopping. When one leave, we've been getting another one. What's the problem?
Right.
And I'm gonna get that good old unemployment since y'all letting me go against my will. Thank you.
Yeah.
What you talking about? I was ready. I
I
was happy
on that.
I couldn't wait. That 2 weeks came, you know what they told everybody? When that 2 weeks hit at my job, oh, y'all don't got to worry about it. Y'all ain't got to get it no more. After all them people went and got it. I just looked at everybody I had on my team for a little bit. They was shaking. They was melting. I said, I told y'all should have, Trees, dang, I went and got it yesterday. You didn't listen. That's on you.
So worried they going to lose their little bit of
They
income.
was scared. They was scared over here, yo. They was sick and salty. And some people still ended up being fired after getting a vaccination.
Man, that is one thing my wife, I can credit my wife for, because she was like, well, they said I'm going to lose my job. I said, do you trust me? Have I ever steered you wrong? You know what I'm saying? No, I said, just trust me. They are not going to let you go. Your work ethic, the way you do things, they're not going to let you go. Trust me. This is not going to go over. It's not going to make it.
But let's talk about the fear of starting over, though. Why everybody feared so much to start over? Okay.
Right. It's just fear mongering. They fear pushing you. That's all it is. And sure enough, she came back. It was like 2 weeks later. It was about that time too. So it's the same amount of time. It's like they said we got like 2 weeks. And I was like, listen, do not get that. You get that, you not, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna be here by yourself. And my son and I, we're gonna go to the other house when you don't come nowhere near us. I don't want that stuff shedding on me or him or none of that. And she was so afraid that they were gonna take her job. But sure enough, 2 weeks later, they was, oh no, you guys don't have to worry about it. They just wanted to push that fear to get as many people to take it as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got those nanites swimming around in your system, and man, crazy.
Nobody noticed they was getting paid. The more people they got, the more hospital money they got. The more they was able to, that's why all them hospitals got makeovers and extra buildings in their hospital. They got paid.
Yeah.
The more people they got up in there, the more money they got. And then it's a sheet that tell you for every shot they get paid. The more people get shots, the more the hospital get paid.
That's right.
Any shot they come out with, they get paid for it.
That's right.
So that's it. That don't mean nothing to you. Why would they be getting paid off of something that's supposed to help you and cure you and save you? Why would they get paid? Why you ain't getting paid?
Right.
Exactly.
Right. And why are you not just doing it out of the kindness or the goodness of your heart, but just because we're fellow Americans, so we're fellow people? You know what I mean? Like, I didn't charge my wife to, stop her from keep getting sick. She was sick almost every 3 weeks, every other month, every month, at least once a month, she was sick. I told her, I said, listen, take this, grab this little recipe right here and eat this and do this every day. And she ain't been sick in I don't know how long. I got to talk to her and ask her, but I think it's been about a year, maybe 8 months. She ain't been sick at all. And my our daughter was just sick. I just told her, you're gonna have to get her on that regimen. I don't care what's going on, what mom and dad doing. You need to tell them they need to get on this, and they need to keep them on it, because we don't need to be dealing with that. And so, she ain't had no issues since. So I don't need to get paid to tell people, hey, listen, if you do this, it could help. That's all I can say. It could help. I ain't saying it's a cure or anything. I'm just saying it could help. And you get some real natural oranges, like that orange juice they sell in most stores it's not real orange juice. You look at the ingredients, it's got all the stuff that's just going to get you sick. It's got all the stuff that's not supposed to be in your body. And it's all the stuff you can't pronounce. Nitroglycerin, monophosphate, and all these different xanthan gums. It's all the stuff you can't pronounce. But if you go and you really take your time and look at the ingredients, it should say orange juice. Oranges. That's it. That is all it should say. And it's a little hard to find in some stores. And then some of them, it's a lot more expensive, like by several dollars more. But is it worth your health? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, absolutely.
because I
Yeah.
swear.
Then the mentality that people have too plays a big part, I think, in you
Mhm.
catching some of this stuff too. Because
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, when it was first going on, man, I literally was still going to work, walking around like I literally, and not to sound arrogant or nothing, but like I was walking around like I was just I had
No, we was
a,
arrogant. We was arrogant. We gonna
Yeah,
say
we
we ain't
was.
gonna hear none of that. Put that mask on, bro. I ain't wearing that mask. Get on my face.
Yeah.
What you talking about? I can't breathe in that. We was arrogant. What you mean? I can't
Yeah,
breathe in that.
we
Put my hand
was.
out of my face. No.
yeah, I was walking around like I was exempt. Like
Yeah,
it's just
we
yeah,
was
you know
exempt.
what I'm
We was exempt. That's that God in us.
saying?
Facts. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
was definitely exempt. I know I was. You couldn't tell me nothing. We write you up when you ain't got no mask. Write who up? Where did I sign this out? I'm wearing a mask at it.
Right.
No.
Mhm.
No, we wasn't doing none of that. And you know what's crazy is that people we said this before, sister, but the people was wearing the mask in their own cars. I'll be looking at people driving like, what the there's nobody else in the car with you. You can't
Man.
I be pointing like, roll your window down. They roll the window. I'm like, you all right in there? You sick? Why you got that mask on? They be
Yeah,
like,
man.
yeah, you all right?
And there's some people still wearing it right now to this
Yeah, you
day.
know, let me tell you what I do when I see them. I be like, I hope you feel better. They be looking crazy.
Yeah.
Whenever I see somebody in a mask, I come out. I'm like, I hope you feel better. Get well soon. They just be looking at me like, yeah, because clearly you sick. Because what you got that on for?
Right, because it only protects others from you and what you got. You don't. You're still breathing in whatever the hell's in the air.
That
It's not.
part.
It's not an actual. What you call those things like the gas mask with the filter and all that. That will actually protect you from what's outside.
Yeah,
But
I think we
the
forgot
mask,
about carbon dioxide. How we need
Yeah.
air to breathe to get fresh air. Like, come on.
it's crazy. Yo. It's not a ventilator. It's just a mask. So it's blocking your spit and your air from hitting others. That's all it's like. What? Oh
It's
man,
blocking you from getting fresh air. It's blocking you from getting
yeah,
fresh
well, that too. Yeah, you ain't getting no fresh air. People in their cars driving, windows rolled up. Like, wow.
I'm like, you don't want no fresh air? I used to see him running down the street. You ain't getting no fresh air today? This
That's
is fresh
crazy.
air you gonna get, player?
For real. And did y'all see the video where the guy was showing the inside of the mask and what it looked like?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
the
my God! I was like,
yeah.
ugh. Oh my goodness! I said, yeah, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, but the thing,
Go ahead,
and look
Doc.
at it like this: they more accountable to somebody else and putting on that mask than they're accountable to themselves for their own life.
That part. That part. Yeah.
Facts.
It's crazy. People keep about that slavery stuff, but Master said, put a mask on.
Exactly.
Master said, put a mask on. Master said, go get vaccinated. Master said, if you don't do this, you won't get no comb.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's the part that still psych me out to this day. Just like you will have so many people that be like, oh yeah, we know the government corrupt. Oh yeah, we know they be lying about this, and we know. But
we
believe
still-
everything they say you still. You know what I'm saying? Man, I would love to figure out that. That's $1 million question to me.
It's a mind
How you
thing.
can sit up there and say,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I know this and I know that, but
I know,
when
but
they said go do this, and I'm about to go do it.
because they
Yeah.
gave up. I think they gave up. Because to know and not do is still not to know. They already gave up. Yeah, we know, but what else are we supposed to do? Because they don't want to fit out. Remember, they don't want to stand out. They don't want to not want to be alone. These are people that know how it is to be alone.
Right. God forbid they lose their job. Like that's they worried about their job. Listen, there's some jobs that ain't gonna care nothing about none of that. They need some workers. They don't care nothing about none of that. What's going on? I know my wife's job didn't care. They was like, no, don't worry about it. Hey.
But listen, do you know how many nurses had left? Nurses quit because I like that. That was big for me. They lost so many nurses.
Yeah. and they on the inside. Doctors too was like, yeah, this is all hogwash.
Yeah.
Don't buy into this shit.
Yeah.
And people, man, people just, and it had millions of views, and you know,
If that wasn't the message to tell you right there, then you just wasn't watching. Because
Yeah.
anytime the people that's telling you to get it walking out and telling you I ain't getting it, that should be all you need.
yeah.
Yep.
And now they all got lawsuits. You know, my brother's still working on his. He's still fighting his. They fired him from his job
Mm-hmm.
because he didn't get it. And like he's like, you know, he wear the mask to go in the store because he got to deliver the stuff to the people. Whatever. He's like, I do that, but when I'm outside the truck, this lady tried to tell me put the mask. Like I'm outside. No,
Right.
you know. And yeah, they fired him, but. You know, he's actively fighting that one. Oh, he just beat his DUI case. You know, shout out to him. He just beat that. Had to go through some changes for it or whatever, but he's working on getting that lawsuit going because.
But
You know,
then you realize how when other people are in control, they want to control you.
right.
They mad because you not being in control. Oh, they controlling us. Why you not controlled? How
Right.
are you controlling me? Worry about who controlling you.
Right. You need to go find you some control for
Yeah.
yourself instead of worrying about why I'm not in control. It's such a foreign idea to them that not listening to the doctors or the government because we've been indoctrinated so long to believe the lie that the truth seems alien. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
they have
sad.
you indoctrinated that the doctor's word is the final say concerning your health. The lawyer's the lawyer's word is the final say concerning your legal matters. The police is the final say. I have the final say over my life.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's why I know it has a lot to do with spirit, like the Queen Oracle is just saying. No, it's arrogance. When Jay Hooks, when you were saying, you know, I was walking around like I was exempt. Like we bring that type of energy because every lawyer, not every lawyer, but I've had some ones that just, you know, weren't on the thing. But I always ended up with one who was all about that business. Like they not for the system at all. When they like saying things like, no, I work for you. Listen, I'm a trial lawyer. If you don't want to go to trial, you might as well find somebody else. I don't do plea deals, this, that, and third. I like hearing that because I know I'm innocent. We need to go and fight this. That is what I like to hear. So when I was hearing that from certain, like a lawyer not going to tell you that, oh man, this is a good deal. This is a good deal. That's how they always come at you. And it's like, no, this ain't no good deal. And that's what my brother was just going through his case. Like, nah, these cops need to take accountability. They don't want to take accountability for the fact that they lying. I asked for a blood test. You asked me to do a breathalyzer. You can refuse the breathalyzer legally. No, give me a blood test. You think I'm under the influence? Give me a blood test. And I have a CDL, so you have to give me the blood test. That breathalyzer thing can be faulted, it can be messed up, and when the doctor or the nurse tells you right then and there ain't nothing in his blood, you gotta let me go. But they didn't want to do that, and that's why they railroaded him. That's why he got a good lawsuit. He's having a damnedest time to find a lawyer in this state that's actually willing to take on the case and take on the police, you know. And I'm still working with him to help him find that, but you know he's got to find some of these other people that actually went through fighting with the state and actually winning. So that's where we at now. But yeah, man, this is insane. You know? They really don't want to accept the accountability that is rightfully theirs.
Yep.
It's like I own mine. Why can't you own yours?
I'm about to tap out in a second. Was we done with the videos for today?
Yeah, no, we got this last one right here. I was about to play this because it's definitely about that time to tap out.
Yeah.
And I kind of wanted to end it with this video and kind of share our thoughts on it. This one was, in my opinion, one of the best ones because he really explains, you know, what you get and what you don't get. But let's go ahead and get into it.
You know, I was thinking recently that every single person I know, male or female, that has always blamed other people for their misfortunes, people that are not accountable for their actions, that they're always quick to blame other people for things that maybe they've done, people that are just not owning up to their own poor life decisions. Every single one of those people that I know do not have real genuine relationships. They don't even have real friends. They're the people that everyone in their life is always kind of coming in and out of their life, or the relationships, you know, used to be strong and then they just don't exist anymore. They're completely dismantled. And I think it, you know, it's sad, but it comes with a cost with always assuming that you're the good guy of the story when, you know, like any human being, we're all guilty of doing some stupid stuff. So if you're not accountable, it comes with
Cost.
Right. It's seeing wrong in what you do. And like you said, it's always being able to step out of a situation to see where you went wrong or where you could have said something different or where your response could have been differently. And until you understand that aspect, you'll never understand what accountability is. Because, yeah, we both could be wrong. But what are we going to do to make it right? You know, and one of the things he said, like a lot of men and women I know, I feel like for me, a lot of men and women I know that don't take accountability are habitual liars. They make up situations, they make up circumstances that never happened, don't exist, or they'll sugarcoat what did happen, what did exist to fit their narrative.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I know is about it. And one thing I think for me, like that's coming up in my healing journey is it's a pet peeve for me to just be around people I know that's constantly lying. I don't even really want to talk to you if all you do is lie.
Yeah, knocks my rope.
And it's no judgment. Again, it's just me and my authenticity. Because again, if you a liar, how long before you lie to me? How do I even know to believe anything you say if everything you're saying is always a lie?
Exactly.
Like that's a very big pet peeve for me. You look for authenticity. You say you want people to be loyal and honest, but you're not that. And until you are loyal and honest first with yourself, again, accountability won't even exist with you. Because you're not even accountable enough to be honest with what's happening and why you're going through what you're going through. Wow.
Yeah.
That part.
And who want to add that extra confusion in their own life, dealing with somebody where you got to question and wonder if anything they say to you was accurate or truthful. Like, I don't want to. Nobody want to deal with that.
Exactly. I'm beating my head trying to put your puzzle piece together. A puzzle piece you made up.
Yeah.
And then you know, knowing that we empaths and you bring us problems, we're always looking for a solution. You bringing us a whole false problem, and now you got me worked up and angry or upset and trying to fight a battle that ain't even real.
Like we just went through.
Come on.
We just went through that, and then Dr. Sublime said it the best. You know, that could have been kept between he and I, but the reason that it went that way is because it would have revealed the true culprit. This is why the original culprit said, "Oh no, don't say nothing. Just stop showing up." Yeah, because if you say something, it's gonna bring on a conversation. That conversation is gonna lead to the actual truth, which is you're lying and you're making up this stuff because whatever reason you have, you know, against myself or my wife or my son or whatever, you created that, and then to bring that to the entire other parties who aren't even involved, yeah, that's insane. Yeah, just went through that, and you bringing up problems and all it's going to do is create more of a disdain and discord within a group. And you know, like if Jay Hook's got like we done been through it with, you know, Jay Hook's like, hey man, I don't feel like even hearing this right now today. I'm like, hey, I feel you, blah blah blah. I don't need to bring that to you guys' ears, you know. That's not, you know what I mean? Like, it just, Yeah, it's amazing how some people handle things and how they handle themselves in their life, and it's like you can read all the books you want that don't make you, you know, what you say you are, but
You know, the thing is, you tell yourself a lie long enough, you tend to believe it's the truth.
yeah,
And that's how some of these people are who are unaccountable and always the center of controversy or center of problems. They tell themselves lies often enough that they believe the lies that they tell is the truth. And you can't tell them otherwise. They are convinced, and they try to convince you that the lie they're telling you is the truth. And that's somebody who's never been accountable to anyone, nor even accountable to themselves to tell the truth.
yeah, facts. And the truth be staring us right in the face sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It stares us right in the face, and we don't address it. We don't look at it. You know.
And something I grew up hearing: a liar is a thief, and a thief is a murderer.
Mm.
So where there's no accountability, you can never really get true facts or truth. I should say not facts, but get truth
Right.
from out of
Authenticity.
that person.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
You'll
And
never be their true, authentic self.
Yeah.
'Cause that shit hurt your head.
Yeah.
And I've been like, it's get to the point like my energy is rising so much. Like I know when I'm being lied to. Like it just hurts my head, and I just tap out. Like I'm not even interested. I'll block you out. I don't really want to.
Yeah.
You know? And like I said, I'm
You're
okay. I
listening
mean,
to them, but
people love too. I'm not dealing with that. You
Yeah.
can't look for me to keep
you're
saving you.
listening.
You're not being truthful about what's going on.
Mhm.
You're listening to them, and they sound like wah, 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 wah,
Yeah.
wah, wah, wah,
Yeah.
wah.
Yeah. Charlie Brown. Yeah.
It's like hearing like a bad frequency. It's like
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know, that part was so crazy. Like, and I you know, J Hooks was just saying, what, last week, brother, or the week before or something. He was like, man, it still is crazy to me, that whole situation. I said, you know what? That had to happen, bro. I told him, I said, that had to happen because no bull. I was about to not even go and do the thing. I was too tired. I didn't want to go do it. And I was attempting to get out of it. And I was talking about, like, look, maybe we can do this another time. And he's like, no, we can still do it. It ain't, you know, I'm just letting, you know, it's been, you know, it's just been whatever, you know, and she on her cycle this month and blah, blah, blah. So I kind of been dealing with that. I said, well, you know, we can do it some other time. And I didn't want to do it. My spirit was like, go and do that. Just go and do it. And I had no idea why, but now it all makes sense. Had I not gone and done that, this might have turned into something bigger later on, involving the entire tribe with some, you know what I mean? That same snake would have bit all of us. But instead, I got bit, and that was it. You know what I mean? And my wife got bit, my son got bit. That was it. It was attempting to bite everybody by bringing the situation to light to everybody. But when in retrospect, I was like, wow, this was perfect, because now we don't ever have to deal with that in the, you know, at least on a bigger scale like that. Because, like, who does that? You know what I mean? Like, just, it's crazy.
So yeah, you had something to say on the video, J Hooks? I'm about to tap out.
Nah, I ain't had to. Y'all pretty much hit it all on the head. I got to tap out myself, so
Yeah. So
wrap it on up today, family.
Yeah, it's about that time, and we definitely did another epic video.
Yeah, for sure.
About
Great
accountability.
Topic.
Yeah. Just being authentic, real with yourself before you try to tell someone else to take accountability, you always have to put yourself in the forefront to take accountability for yourself first. And so that way, it's not a woe as me situation. It's always again, how can we be better? What could we have done differently? And just always, taking note of the things you can fix within yourself. We're not perfect. We're imperfectly perfect. And that's why we're loved so genuinely. And to look for perfection is only hurting your own head. So just work on you the best way you can work on you.
Yeah.
It's not about nobody else. Again, you already know what we say is you versus you every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what ain't a lesson is a blessing. And if what you ain't going through ain't blessing you, then you need to sit down and ask what's the lesson is for you so you can adapt to it, learn, and move forward.
Ashe.
Shame.
Ashe.
Yeah.
I want to piggyback on that real quick. What I would say to everybody is, and I want to speak about the perfection thing that the sister mentioned. I came up with this saying, perfection is a horizon, is a never-ending horizon, but chasing it will always lead you to a better place. Right? I have it written down. It was something like that. So, that you're not going to catch it, but it's the goal is not to catch it. It's to chase the better version of you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I like that.
Shame. Yeah. But at the same time, too, this accountability is very much personal. You are, and if a person doesn't see the need to be accountable to themselves first and foremost, they will never be accountable to anybody else because any accountability they present, it is conditional accountability based on the fact that you give me a job, you give me, some money, you give me whatever. So that's conditional accountability. Authentic accountability is all about being accountable to yourself. And it's going to cost you a price. It's going to cost you to be able to look in the mirror and look at yourself and address some things that you are hiding or running from that you don't want to address or you don't want to be accountable for. You understand the errors of your ways, the ability to want to grow and learn and unlearn and relearn. So there are things that you yourself have to personally face in order for in order for you to be accountable authentically, not superficial and based on conditions. And so I am eternally grateful that you were able to be on this journey, and I dub and I rub off on takes from the Queen P. um Staying present is a big part of being accountable. If you're present in your situation, you're present in the moment, you'll be accountable to yourself for your health. Nobody else is responsible for your health. You go to the doctor because you was not accountable for what you put in your body or what you did. You put on the pounds because you was not accountable for what you was putting in your body. You're accountable for your bank, your the finances and for flying bankruptcy and whatever else because you're not accountable to yourself first and foremost. And so it's going to come with a price. Paying attention to what you're doing and only spending or doing what you could presently afford. You may be able to afford the other things later on, the brand new car and all these different things later on. But if you can't afford it right now, don't hold yourself accountable. I don't want to put myself in excess debt that at the end of the day, the repo man got to come and possess it. And then you get mad with the repo man, but you wasn't accountable for your habits,
Exactly.
So I just encourage us to take a thing from spec and look in the mirror. And that's why I say be gentle with yourself because we are on a journey. Much love.
Yes.
Much love, I say.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Yeah, and I just want to keep it real simple and just remind everybody to don't be afraid of constructive criticism. Especially if it's
Yeah.
somebody that you love and respect. If they telling you from a place of love, it's probably for a good reason, and maybe you should take that time to kind of, you don't got to take it.
Mm-hmm.
it don't have to be, you know, it don't have to be, it's not fact, you know, whatever they may be saying. But you know,
Right.
maybe take time and just listen to that and sit on it and think, why are they saying this? Is this something that I can change? Is this something that will make me better? And just don't take it so personally, you know.
Ashe.
Facts.
Ashe. Because God sends messages through all. Sometimes even those you consider to be your enemies might have a message for you. Because like she said, when you present, you'll catch a message that is for you. And what's not, don't have to apply. But if it apply, you will apply it to help suit you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Facts. Ashe.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, that being said, family, we gonna get up out of here. Y'all here with us. We appreciate y'all. Don't forget to smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you already haven't, and share this content with anybody you think it might help, because that's important. And we will catch y'all in the next stream. This your boy Speculum Ambulo. Remember to look in that mirror for the change you want to see, and love your journey.
Ashe. It's the girl Oracle, Empress Queen P. Y'all stay present, patient, and positive. I know some amazing and wonderful things are happening to each and every one of us. In love. Peace, peace.
Ashe. Ashe.
Peace. Peace. This is Dr. Sublime telling you continue to be gentle with yourself because you're on a journey, and healing is also a journey. Much love.
Peace. Peace.
Much love, I
Ashe.
say.
Love, Ashe.
Your boy J Hooks the Great. Shout out to the tribe. Shout out to all the chosen ones worldwide. We are
Yes.
rising.
Ashe.
Ashe. Peace, peace, team.
Say,
Yes. Peace. Peace, family.
Yeah.
peace, peace, fam.